Tiny bugs in the desert. In the desert at the break of dawn, there are tiny bugs gathered on the hill. Facing towards the sea breeze, with their hips held high, they wait and wait. They wait for the vapor in the air to gather from the wind. The gathered vapor then forms a drop and flows into the mouth of the bug. As the bug drinks the water, the bug is eaten by the chameleon. The chameleon is eaten by the snake, and the snake is eaten by the mongoose. Many animals in the dry desert lives on the water from the tiny bugs. Even the carnivores on the top of the food chain too. We are just like that. We have to help each other and live together. It seems small, but it's not small. It seems big, but it's not big. Even though we are different, we all need each other. We are all the same size. We are all important.
My mom. My friend's cool clothes made me become jealous of him. My mom didn't even buy me a single t-shirt, and I blamed her for it. I have tasted pork cutlet for the first time in my entire life when I was invited to a friend's birthday party. That pork cutlet made me grumble that my mom had never taken me to a luxurious restaurant. The ladies wearing gorgeous clothes and fancy sunglasses with their hands holding the latest leather bags made me wish that my mom would become like them. Then one day, the threadbare underwear of my mom captured my eyes. It was so tattered that there were holes everywhere. From that day, I started to see other things about her. The pale face which showed how little she slept. The drooping shoulders which showed how hard she works. The wrinkles under her eyes which showed how old she was. The cracked skin on the tips of her fingers that showed how much she struggled to become a better mother. The smell of menthol that showed me how heavy her burdens were. The knitted brows which showed how painful the headache she had gone through was. Then I knew how much she loved me.
2. There is a 1. The 1 takes just one role. How about the 1 that meets another 1? 2 sticks become chopsticks so we can have food. 2 round glasses become eyeglasses with which we can see. 2 tires become a bicycle that we ride on. 2 ropes become a swing that we play on. If 1 and 1 work together, they can do bigger and better things.
Dream. Went to a kindergarten. Asked what your dream is. Stewardess, singer, model, princess, and angel. Went to an elementary school. Asked what your dream is. Doctor, teacher, lawyer, government employee. Went to a middle school. Asked what your dream is. I just want to live a stable life. The words of adults are changing the children's dreams. Let the children dream freely. Fig. A fig was so sad because it didn't have any flowers, fragrant flowers that others have. One day, in the inside of the fig bursted a small bud. The fig was so happy. Even though it was a tiny bud, it was very special to the fig. The fig did its best to look after the tiny bud. With love from the fig, at last the bud bared into a delicious fruit. That fruit was as fragrant as other flowers. The fig became to bloom the most beautiful fruit of all. Don't be disappointed that you don't have a flower yet. There is a small bud inside of you all. If you look after the bud with all your heart, it will finally bloom into a beautiful fruit. Busy little fingers. Happiness is right on the palm, swinging as if she's going to fall down, asking for fingers to help her right now. However, little fingers are too busy to notice. Father thumb playing chess, mother finger shopping, son finger working out, daughter finger chatting with friends, baby finger
playing computer games. Each of them is too busy themselves to hear her voice. Then, a sudden strong wind blew, almost knocking out happiness on the palm. Unexpectedly surprised, little fingers stopped their work and grabbed happiness.
The evening glow that the sun left behind. Sun, far, far away, slowly falls softly to the horizon. Having brightened up the world all day long, the sun slides down the sky to the horizon, emitting a pale light. Admiring the sun, I say, "Could I lend you a hand?" The sun politely denies, and leaves a beautiful sunset behind, falling completely out of sight, making my selfish day shameful. People who are like the sun make this world beautiful. What remains of those who brighten up the world is as beautiful as the sunset.
The importance of one word. Friends who have to raise. Since you are my competitor, I am irritated. Since you are by my side when I am sad, I am unhappy. The word that I want to speak, I hate you. Friends who have to raise. Since you are my competitor, I am pleased. Since you are by my side when I am sad, I am happy. The word that I want to speak, I like you. Just one word makes our lives beautiful.
Mother's love in the dinner. When I talk on the phone, come back from school, or go out, my mom always says, "Have you eaten? Do you want some food? Always eat your meals." Sometimes I couldn't understand why my mother always told me to eat. My mom sweats in front of the hot oven, thinking about what to cook for every dinner. To make the best food for me, my mom cooks dinner every day. Dinner's ready! To my mother, the meals were a message. Are you okay? I'm so proud of you. Thank you, and I love you.
The bookshelf. Please think about the bookshelf in your room. You can see lots of books on it. There are the books which you have read many times, the books of which you just know the titles, and the books of which you don't even know the titles. The books that you haven't started to read may be boring to you. However, like the proverb, bitter medicine is good for your health. The books are worth reading. If you want to get knowledge and wisdom, open the first page of the books. The books are more interesting than you think.
Page. Today morning, I stood in front of the window to get some fresh air. Then I felt empty and didn't know why. I looked around and found my white daisy withered. I used to take pictures beside the flower when it was smiling at me. I felt sorry. I thought it withered since I didn't care for it. I thought the people around me were just like my daisy. I may be treating them carelessly. I think I have to appreciate them, care for them, and love them before they wither.
Name. Hi, my name is Hong Jung-yeon. What's your name and what does calling your name mean to you? Kim Chun-soo, the famous poet, said, "Before I called his name, he was just nothing but a movement. When I called his name, he came close to me and became a flower." Like this poem, calling a name gives a special meaning and value to it. There's one thing to which you have to give a name. It is your future. I named my future CEO Hong Jung-yeon since I want to be a social entrepreneur. I believe that the name will make my future meaningful and valuable. What's your future's name? If it doesn't have one, why don't you make a good name for it?
Examination. A school examination has correct answers and grades. However, the examination of life
can neither be marked nor graded because any answer could be the correct answer. During the examination of life, you may sometimes feel anxious and impatient about if you are answering correctly. At the moment, it is most foolish to follow others' answers. You are the only one who knows the correct answer for your life and makes the choice.
Magic. When I was young, I was holding my mother's hand and watching a magic show. A pigeon came out of a hat. A rose began to bloom in the magician's hand. Every hand movement was really amazing. I was so deeply impressed about that. In my school, you can see more wonderful magic. The magic which makes a friend cry with laughter. The magic which makes a dirty classroom clean. The magic which creates friendship among students. The magic which finds the owner of a lost wallet. Everybody can be a magician who makes a life beautiful.
Father. Finally, I fell asleep waiting for my father to come back home. Outside was dark and calm. I woke up to the sound of the front door opening. I heard my father's heavy footsteps and could feel how tired my father was. Then my father came into my room. He was holding a plastic bag. Inside was my favorite snack. I saw true love in my father's eyes as he gave me the snack that he bought for me, even though he was very tired.
Photo. My dad, living apart since I was young, came home only when he took a day off. I couldn't think of him as my family. However, one day I went to his house. For the first time, I saw Dad's house and a small desk. On it, there was a photo which had been taken when I was a baby. It was hard for him to tell me, "Let's take a photo together." So he kept the old one. In Dad's mind, I was always a baby. When Dad comes, I want to be closer to him.
Succulent plant. There was a small flower pot in the corner of a flower shop. Just an ugly round leaf was in it. "You can have it, nobody wants it," said the owner of the shop. I brought the ugly succulent plant home. I watered and cared for it. Surprisingly, a few days later, the leaf took root. 1 leaf, 2 leaves, 3 leaves. The succulent plant was getting bigger. I transplanted it to a bigger pot. As it grew, it got bigger and much more beautiful. Everybody has their own beauty, like the succulent plant. If we water and care for our talents and potential abilities, they will grow up and become very big. Try it now.
That one. There are a lot of talented students in school. The one with courage who addresses an audience. The one who speaks English like a native speaker, although he or she has never studied abroad. The one who sings like a pop star and dances like a diva. The one who plays classical music and accidentally debates. The one who is good at both studying and sports. However, we still hope there will be more great students. The one who supports others though he or she did the same work. The one who knows how to say sorry even if he or she is mad. The one who knows how to share. The one who is willing to do the hardest task. The one who is comfortable to be with. That one. Would you be the one?
Magnolia. When pleasant spring comes, the magnolia starts to show off the true white color it hides inside. Telling itself when the time comes, I will bloom. The magnolia remains a bud during winter. With the warm shower of spring sunlight, it sheds its rough dark skin and fully blooms. That bright white flower is just like our hidden potential. Viewed from the outside, we just see dark skins. However, the beauty is concealed with them. Bloom like the magnolia. Reveal your creativity.
To gain self-esteem. There is a student who is good at sports. Compliment him by saying, "You are a good athlete." There is a student who sings very well. compliment her by saying, "You are a great singer." There is another friend who plays the piano as good as you. Instead of saying, "I play just like you," compliment her by saying, "You play a beautiful melody." There is another friend who speaks a foreign language fluently. You are very jealous of him. However, still compliment him by saying, "You can speak the foreign language very well." Compliment your friends. Compliment others' talents until it becomes your habit. That habit will allow you to see yourself. You will come to see your talents and compliment yourself. Then you will have friendship, complimenting your friends, and self-esteem, complimenting yourself.